And then there came a day like many others. The Best Flarking Podcast. Your nerd's eye view of TV, film, comics, and video games. With you as always, your mother flarking hosts, Dunners and Reach. Fellas, show them who they're flarking with.
What is up, Flakers? We are back. Doing a little shuffle-a-roo. Unfortunately, somebody who was on this podcast, who is named Adam, fucked up our episode like a week ago, and we lost it. So that guy has been fired. I'm the new Adam, who's replacing that Adam.
Welcome, new Adam.
Thank you. Much better guy. So, Reed and I just got out of a movie. Is definitely what you can call it.
Can you?
Well, yeah, because they filmed it.
But cinema.
I mean, it's a movie. It exists.
Yeah, but
it really is there.
What the fuck did we just see, dude?
It was really long. It was a really long movie. As far as like most movies go, it's not like that long in time, just that long in feels. But the movie we're talking about is obviously Batman versus the Superman that they had go on that came out this weekend. This movie, of course, is racing to what is being heralded as like $11 gajillion opening weekend because it's so early in the season that they're thinking that the fact that it took in $1/1000,000 more than Age of Ultron did on their Thursday night screening, that somehow it's going to do like $290 million opening or something.
I doubt that.
So, yeah, I mean, especially considering like Ultron did 190. So, I doubt it will do better than Jurassic World did last year.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're gonna handle this week's episode just a little bit differently because it's all Batman, all Batman, all Superman this whole time. So we're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're gonna give you a synopsis of the movie because the movie does a very poor job of being a movie. So we're gonna kind of roughly run through what it is. I'm gonna say the one spoiler tag right at the beginning because we're gonna go super deep into like what everything is and what happens and why things happen and all that shit. And then we're gonna kind of handle it Clint Eastwood style and not tell it to get off his lawn or anything, but like the good, the bad, and the ugly. That kind of Clint Eastwood before he started talking to empty chairs and shit. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it cool Clint Eastwood style.
His head
like do you feel lucky Zack Snyder kind of thing here. So
yeah.
Do you want to handle the synopsis, or do you?
You made X movies. 2 of them were good. How many good ones you got left, punk?
Do you want me to run down what this movie is?
Yeah, man, you go for it, because you're gonna have to do the majority of this one. I'm still a little too heated.
All right, so this movie opens with a funeral. The death of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I don't know her name, but she's on The Walking Dead. She's married to Glenn. But that being said, the first thing I thought when we were watching that sequence was like, holy shit, an alternate universe where Bruce gets killed, Thomas becomes the Batman, and Martha becomes the Joker. That is a movie that they are clearly setting up for in some kind of alternate DC universe, because you don't fucking hire Jeffrey Dean Morgan to be in your title sequence.
Yeah, and just die.
So, the movie opens with the death of the Waynes for the, 75th time that we've seen it now, so, all the emotion is gone from that. We see Bruce, run off into the woods like he does. We also see him get, lifted up Jesus style by a bat cyclone into the sun.
When you open a movie and I am laugh out loud.
The movie had to straight up go, and that was a dream, because it realized that everyone was checking out at fucking Mark 4 minutes into the film was like, goddamn, Batman, fucking young Bruce Wayne gets flown out of the Batcave by a gale force cyclone wind comprised entirely of the wings of bats. Fuck, man. I think an alien who gets power from the sun who's like Jesus is more believable than a dude getting lifted by a bat cyclone.
Yes,
Fuck, man. But basically we do that, and then it hits us with the modern day movie sin of 18 months ago. It jumps us back in time because it thinks we're going to forget about the world engine that happened in Man of Steel, which I think this sequence is actually pretty awesome, because Batman, you get to see Bruce watching Metropolis get fucking fucked on, basically, by the Kryptonians.
Yeah.
And to watch the destruction from the angle of the people getting messed up by it is pretty cool to see.
It's really
that being
different.
said,
it's a different perspective, that's for sure.
Like,
I mean, that's Captain Obvious mode, but the emotion, I think, is what goes behind that.
They cut any reference to Dick Grayson altogether, so the grave isn't shown for Dick Grayson or any of it.
I forgot
any of
about
that stuff.
headstone.
Completely cut out. So like that part is gone. Because I'm assuming they're going to try and make something with Dick Grayson, because they'd be dumb to do otherwise.
Right.
So we see why Batman's pissed off. Fast forward to now, Batman's tracking someone known as the White Portuguese. He's some guy. And basically, Batman is just kind of going through and through and fucking branding people and just being, like, even more crazy than ever. Which, this is fucking bizarre because, like, they try and play the Frank Miller themes of, like, The Dark Knight Returns, but he never stops being Batman in this particular world. And he's fucking 36. Like, it's insane. Because, like...
And he's really mad.
No, maybe he's, like, 42 or so, because he's, like, what? He's, like, 7 or 8 when his parents die? And his parents die in 1981.
Yeah, 81, so
maybe he's like 41, 42 years old. He's not even old Batman. By like modern standards, you can still be kind of in your prime in your early 40s.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like he's not even old Batman.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton Manning's
like,
still out there, or was.
Well, yeah.
42,
recently.
Same. You know,
but like...
Hockey guy, like, you know, same concept.
So they lean really hard into these Frank Miller, like, it's necessary for me to be a little bit harder because I'm a little bit older, and it's like, it doesn't feel like you're a little bit older. It feels like you're totally just Batman.
I've done things.
It's just, and like, so he's tracking down this guy, which leads him into running into Lex Luthor, and that's how they kind of get entwined. And you find out Lex is playing this kind of game because he knows all the metahumans' identities, which I thought was fucking sweet. If we could, like, actually have a little bit of digging into why he knows and how he knows and what he did to find out. He just has a folder on his computer with, like, every single metahuman who's ever existed in our world that they know of.
Yeah, you didn't like
that
folder name, Shoehorn Cameos?
Oh my god, fucking cameos.folder.watch.show.justice League.
.avi.
.cool icons.
Oh, don't get me started on that. That UI pissed me off. Whoever you are out there, guy designing that, yeah, you could have done much better.
That cyborg icon was tight. Cyborg icon was tight.
OS of whatever they used, that fake OS.
Hey, Lex OS is changing the world.
Shit's garbage.
Because that's what that's called, the Lex OS. And they even had like a viral site for it.
No, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be dogging other people, but it did suck.
So about 538 minutes into the movie, we get our fight between the Batman and Superman. Motivated entirely, like 538 minutes in. And the fight scene between the Batman and the Superman don't go anywhere because it's 9 minutes. 9 minutes of the 151-minute runtime.
You clocked
of the movie. I did, because a buddy of mine who I love very much was like, this movie's fucking phenomenal. Everyone's wrong. I was like, man, everyone else I know who I respect is like, this thing is shit. I was like, dude, everyone keeps saying they only fight for like...
He's the 4 out of 5 dentists that recommend.
It's like, he's like, man, the fight's so good. I'm like, man, everyone I know is saying that they fight for like 6 minutes. He's like, nah, it's way longer than 6 minutes. And you know what? He's actually right, because 9 minutes is actually 50% longer than 6 minutes.
He's right.
He's not wrong. It's just that when you think of substantially longer, those are those kind of numbers that a politician would spin. That's like a Ted Cruz type thing where it's like, hey, look, 6 minutes, it's actually 9, so it's like 50% longer. It's better. I'm better, Obama sucks. Let's go. That's my Ted Cruz. I've never heard the guy talk, but he looks like a serial killer, and that's my serial killer voice.
Looking forward, though, we're going to have to now clock the Cap and Iron Man fight.
Oh, absolutely. But the problem is that we're guaranteed to get at least 2 of them.
Oh, yes.
So,
if not more.
And and like the big fight scene between everyone in that is going to be super long. So we might have to just figure out how to dissect that and work it out. But, so they fight, and then they come to a resolution, and then...
But did they?
Well, they do come to a resolution.
No, they
and
don't.
they do come to a resolution, and that resolution is our moms have the same name.
Okay, if you can call that a resolution.
But it is, because he's about to fucking drop Superman like a bad habit. He's going to murder him.
It's the resolution.
And it's just like, he's gonna kill Martha. Why do you say that name? It's his mom's name.
Let me snap into a flashback while I'm holding this spear over you and patiently wait.
That's fucking crazy, dude. My mom's name was Martha. Really? Dude. And then he throws the spear away, they crack a Coors, and then fucking Doomsday shows him. He's like, shit, we got stuff to do, don't we? He's like, fucking, let's get it, Brucey. You know it, Clarky. And then they have nicknames, and then they go fucking handle it. And then fucking Wonder Woman's like, oh, frequent flyer miles, I gotta go, because someone knows I'm immortal. And she fucking rolls back and's like, you know, and she fucking comes back. Now, do not take this as throwing any shade on Wonder Woman, because she's fucking phenomenal the whole way through.
Yes.
To go completely lizard brain, Gal Gadot is absolutely stunning, if you want to go that route first. But she fucking kicks so much ass as Wonder Woman in this movie that it's like, oh yeah, you could see her being the linchpin of the entire series of DC movies if it came down to it. But then, you know, they fight Doomsday. Doomsday gets killed by a kryptonite spear flown into him by Superman, which is baffling because you haven't. It is super baffling because Superman could barely get out of a kiddie pool with that kryptonite spear.
And that's a giant
moments
chunk
earlier.
Of kryptonite.
And he's flying across a battlefield with it very slowly, mind you. He's flying very slowly. But it would be, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, man, if only there were some kind of super-powered being here with me who is well-versed in ancient weapon combat, that her people may have used spears very regularly
and
in their time.
Affected by kryptonite.
There's a very easy resolution to that fight, and it does not involve Superman dying, which, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Fucking Superman dies in Batman vs. Superman. He gets fucking fisted by Doomsday. Fisted right through the chest. A bony protrusion fists him right through his chest. And Superman dies, and then the movie takes like 37 minutes to have 2 funerals for him.
Oh, God.
And so I'm going to go ahead because
we check our watch.
The end funeral, because they have a funeral for Superman, and they also have a funeral for Clark Kent, who also died mysteriously on the same day.
That's right.
Which is fucking just a whole other,
oh my God,
whole other thing. But this movie is bookended by funerals. And I'm going to go ahead and count Superman's 2 funerals as 2 separate funerals, because I had to sit through 2 very long funeral processions and stuff in this fucking movie. So there are 3 funerals in this movie. This movie is straight up trying to just yak Marvel's flavor, because the rumor that everyone knows of Civil War is that, you know, Cap fucking bites it. And they're going to be like, look, man, you fucking copied us. We had 3 We're 3 times better than Marvel. We had 3 funerals in our movie. They only got the 1. DC Universe forever! But like, so then like the fucking movie ends with like an Inception-like fucking moment.
Total Inception-like moment.
With fucking dirt levitating off of Superman's coffin. And
barely enough. I mean, I wondered if they were gonna leave us with that open for interpretation fucking ending again. And
oh, dude, it's the moment that they show his Superman funeral and the casket's all black with a silver, like, oh my, death of a super,
oh,
like
yeah,
death, the death of Superman. I'm like, okay, right on. He's in his kryptonite. You're going to go ahead and play one of the most widely panned and hated comic book moments as the end of the movie to kick off your comic book universe.
Yeah.
People fucking hate that resolution for Superman, because it's like, oh, the death of Superman, which was amazing. That comic was amazing watching him die. Not because I wanted Superman to die, but because he fucking died. Like, it's crazy. Only to be like, oh no, he was sleeping. What? Yeah, no, him and Doomsday fought so hard he fell asleep afterwards. And he like, and when Kryptonians fall asleep really hard, it looks like they're dead to Earthlings, because Earthlings are fucking stupid dirt grubbers who can't tell whether someone's fucking alive or not.
Right.
So it's like, okay, right, sure, cool. cool, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but that's like basically the rundown of the movie. Now, I wanted to speed through it as fast as I could, and that still took 15 minutes. Still, it's 6 minutes longer than the entire Batman Superman fight scene. So technically, I'm winning. I
can't stop laughing at this movie.
There are so many parts like. I love going to movies with my brother. My brother joined us for this outing.
Thankfully. And he has to join us for more.
My brother is a very funny young man, and we tend to have really hilarious moments in movies, and when a movie starts to fail us, we tend to make our own movies.
Yeah, we MST3K the shit out of
it. Yeah. And there's a part where he's cradling Lois, and I just look at my brother and I go, he fucking snaps her now. He just killed her. He just killed her right there. It's crazy. And he's like, there's a part where he dives into a bathtub with Lois. I'm like, my brother just leans over and goes, she'd be fucking dead. He would have crushed her to death. Or I laugh really hard because, there's a part where they show him open a gate to go testify.
Oh, yeah.
And they deliberately show him opening it very weakly so it doesn't show it and it's super just milk toast as fuck, and I just go just make the noise he just tears it out of the fucking thing anyways. Whoops, sorry, and it becomes just a fucking Benny Hill comedy of errors, and he starts fucking toppling papers over and shit, and Superman just can't stop punching through everything.
There's too many LOL moments. I mean,
it's like, fuck, man.
Or when the bat signal gets flipped on, and then we spend another 10 minutes with Superman, and I'm just going, so is Batman just waiting, chilling?
I gotta tell you, Batman waiting while the fucking...
Bat's got some patience.
The bat... Well, I mean, he's setting up traps. He's building stuff.
Well, he put light on hella early then. He could have got fucked.
Yeah, maybe. But he knew that Superman would be late.
Oh.
He's Batman. He knows everything. He's like, Superman won't show up on time.
Building his own anticipation.
I'm gonna fight him so hard when he gets here. It's gonna be so tight. It's gonna be so tight. But
just gassing himself up.
Let's get down to brass tacks on this shit. Reg, what do you think is the good of Batman versus Superman?
The good for me, there wasn't much. I did love, as I think we both agree, Wonder Woman was the best part of the movie. You may disagree on that. I think Lex was for you, maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we will. But Wonder Woman was for me easily. I loved the, and we have no confirmation, obviously, but the Jason Todd notes on the checks, dude. That shit was awesome. I am your ghost. Every little line that was just jabs at him and trying to figure that out. Cyborg was another one of my favorites, watching that, seeing half a dude on a wall just being worked on, and then the cube thing that comes in, that shit was crazy. One of the cameos that was actually worth watching and seeing. So, and those are the literal only three that I could remember that I liked from the film. I mean, other than the action, overall, fucking awesome. Yeah, that's what I went for.
Set as a precedence, all the action is gorgeous and awesome. It is like Man of Steel amped up to the next level.
Yeah, I can't take that away from it.
So it's very well shot and very well choreographed in the action department. There's nothing we had disagreements about where it should land, but I think that the action sequences, the beats, are on par with the Marvel stuff. I do. I don't think that DC did anyone a disservice by how fucking rad the action was. They did a disservice the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But
once the Trinity, set up and they started whooping ass kind of in tandem, but not really. Like, they knew how to, basically just because Batman just stay the fuck out of the way, but
yeah, he hides. But I mean, what can he do?
Nothing. That's literally what I said out loud.
I'll tell you what.
Of that shot,
and this will be part of my good. So it was a perfect place to segue into it. The good obviously Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, you fucking crushed it. You silenced everyone who fucking squawked their dumb little fucking mouths about why you shouldn't be Wonder Woman and why you don't have what it takes. Kudos to you. That is absolutely the good. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne is the most Bruce Wayne-y Bruce Wayne we've ever got, other than Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman. It is fucking radical to watch him as Bruce. It's also really cool to watch him as Batman part of the time, and I'll get into that in my section of the bad, but I would say I think he may be the best Batman. I really do think he may be the best Batman. Ooh. Keaton still, I think, for me, just because nostalgia, I can't separate it, is probably my favorite Batman, but Ben Affleck does a really great job getting there. I also thought the Cyborg cameo was great. I thought the idea of setting up Darkseid so early by showing the fucking Omega symbol and the Citizens of Apocalypse showing up to fuck up Batman in his quote-unquote dream sequence, which moments later you find out isn't a dream sequence, but a vision projected from the future by the Flash into Bruce's brain, is awesome. My co-host disagrees with me wholeheartedly, but I thought the Flash part, as shoehorned in as it is, I thought the Flash part was neat, and I really liked the idea that it's like Barry Allen basically shows up to tell Bruce that like Superman is gonna turn evil someday and some shit's gonna go fucking sideways, only to realize he did a Barry Allen and he showed up fucking like 10 years too early. Like it's pretty lovely that at least I thought it was. Also in the good category, Batman dropping stink faces on any Kryptonian who wants to get a taste. There are two Kryptonians in this movie, Doomsday and Superman, and Batman drops a fucking stink bomb in both of their faces. He lets it ride. He drops like fart gas right in their face a couple of times. And he's just like, boom! I just dropped some stank on ya.
Breathe
Batman.
it in.
Yeah. You smell that? It's my ass. I'm Batman. And it's like, yes, Batman shitting on people. I'm into it. I'm there. Give it to me. Thank you, Zach.
Oh, yeah, dude, just to hang on to piggyback on that real quick, I've left it out of my good. Batman's fight scene, finally, when they come together, when he's going to rescue Martha. Like, I could have used another 30 minutes of that shit.
I mean, seeing Batman around would have been kind of tight.
God.
You know? And my last good, as Nick alluded to it, Lex is awesome. I think Lex is amazing in this movie. The idea, maybe it's because I know that the whole thing is like he's supposed to be Max Landis.
Wait,
I thought it was kind of... Max Landis, the writer of Chronicle, he is very like squawky and like, hey, and let me be very opinionated and say things, and I'm super pseudo-intellectual. I know how things are great. And like Lex is really like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really neat, like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a burn or if they just were inspired by him, but I thought I really liked Lex a lot, but he's not really Lex Luthor as we know him.
Right.
At all. And it's not like the way Wilson Fisk wasn't Kingpin until later. The way that they do it in Daredevil, it's like, this is not ever going to be the Lex Luthor that's like a cold, calculating Superman killer. Like, he's technologically on Supes' level. You know,
but he's not supposed to be, right? And they do. I think that's where this movie fails yet again, in that this is Alexander Luthor, who's not his father. His father was Lex.
Right.
He's taken the moniker and the short name, but he's not Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I mean, he is though for this universe. He's the universe. He is the Lex Luthor of this universe.
Work around to get around the character flaws.
Sure. I mean that's fine, but I mean the way he manipulates people is pretty awesome. Right. That's very Lex of him.
My point is they just don't make that apparent in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't do it very.
Your point on my dislike of the Flash is they don't make it apparent that and we'll get into that, but
yeah. So my list of the good isn't that much longer than Regis. A lot of our good is the same. Lastly, and the good for me is that it's gorgeous. It's a really well shot movie. It's pretty.
Yes.
It's a very pretty movie. But that's good. You know, you kind of come to expect that from a Zack Snyder property. He has a great team who shoots his films, and this one is no exception. Beautiful movie. So, Reed, what's bad? What's bad about this movie?
Coming right off of what I was just talking about, and you mentioned it, and you're good. Flash. As I told you, I damn near walked out of the fucking movie when Flash showed up. Because I had to ask who it was. He had this mech suit on, and, you know, I'm familiar with Flash. I guess not familiar enough to the point where I missed him wearing some mech suit in Flashpoint.
It's super obscure, and it very, like, you can definitely be excused for missing him wearing a mech suit in the comics, because you show a picture of the Flash to someone, you know, you show him wearing the mech suit, and they're like, who the fuck is that guy? Most people, even most comic book people, will be like that, you know? And so I don't think you can be faulted for,
like, who should I be
not
mad
knowing.
at here, them or me?
and more so, the casual fans who are supposed to be getting into this universe,
Yes.
to, like, connect to it. I don't even know what a non-comic book person would think about that scene, because just some guy shows up.
Yeah.
Like, a portal rips open in front of Bruce Wayne, and he, like, runs out, and he's like, Bruce, holy shit, dude, it's crazy, I'm too early, gotta go, like,
Yeah, you literally left like that, just going, what the fuck?
and it's just like, I in my seat, it's like, oh yeah, I like that, because that's a cool, like, Flash thing to do, of have him, like, show up and fuck up the timeline on accident because he went to the wrong spot. But then it's like, fuck, man, I should ask my wife Mara about what she felt about that scene.
Please do.
Like, Mara, how did that play for you when you first saw that? She's like, I don't fucking know. This shit's fucking so dumb. On the car ride home, she's like, God, I just wish it was good. I was like, I sat there too, and I was like, you know what? I actually feel really bad, because I wanted the critics to be wrong, and I wanted it to be like, you know what? It isn't just a pile of meh. You know, it's just like, because I saw Fantastic Four. That's a fucking bad comic book movie.
And I still haven't seen it. That was my logic, though, that I tried to use on you today. You were like, dude, we're gonna go see this movie. I'm like, why the fuck would I see a movie on opening weekend that everybody is dogging? It makes no sense.
You know, and
I didn't do it with F4. Why would I do it with this one?
You know, but the thing is F4 is bad. This movie's just mediocre. And I think a really big problem with the criticism cycle, especially on the internet, and, you know, I say this as a total fucking hypocrite, because here we are as people on the internet criticizing some shit, is that, like, the movie criticism cycle and the blogosphere in general, when there's blood in the water, it's time to see who can shit the hardest.
Yeah, I feel that.
And it's just like, oh yeah, you thought you took a big fucking steaming shit on this movie? Watch me shit, son. I'm gonna shit the fucking shit all over this piece of shit.
Well, I do wonder that going into it, because you can't take it away out of your head,
like,
you know.
There are, like, at least a couple tweets from, like, Saw where it's just like, this movie, a fucking movie abortion. It's a fucking piece of shit. And I'm fucking super smart. And it's like, well, why was it shitty? Cause it fucking sucked a dick hole. Like, it sucked a dick hole, or was it just a bad movie? So, like, it's weird to see those things, because, like, when we walked out, it was like, you know what? That action was pretty awesome. That last 30 minutes prior to the 30-minute funeral situation was quite great.
Yeah.
And, you know, and all the stuff with Bruce was great. All the stuff with Lex was really good. It's like, fuck, that's only like 45 minutes of a almost 2.5 hour movie.
And that's, again, where I'll pick back up to my bad list, and I didn't like Lex. I thought that was a much better arcade than Lex.
See, I'd give you the arcade if you had any death traps.
Wasn't everything a death trap, basically?
Well, I mean, manipulating people to do his bidding is very Lex Luthor.
I know
but,
what
like,
you mean, yeah. The gamification of it. Very
much,
but I mean, by character, like, look at him and look at the way he acts. That's...
If at some point Superman was stuck on a giant roulette wheel and, like, Lois Lane was about to get crushed by a giant roulette ball, then I'd been like, yep, he's totally arcade. Because arcade is kind of... he kind of fits a lot, like his mannerisms could fit a lot of characters in a lot of different things.
True.
So I
So
think,
it's just the polka dotted undershirts, the white suit, and the short orange hair.
I honestly, I think that's just hipster.com billionaire looking guy is what I think it's supposed to be. Because when they show up, he's wearing like a cool t-shirt and playing basketball. He's like, oh, hey, you guys are here. And come on, how do you not love the part where like the senator guy is like there and he's like, open up, it's cherry. And like flicks it like a piece of candy into his mouth. My God, I'm like, fuck, Lex is weird.
To each their own.
I love it. Fair enough.
Not a fan of him. Or Aquaman, for that matter.
Well, how could you be? How could you be with that cameo? Tell me about it. Tell me about this thing.
Was that an Aveda commercial or a... I mean, I couldn't tell if it was something from Zoolander or what.
Oh, dude, it did really feel like Aquaman was gonna be like, water is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. For sure. And like, I was waiting for John Boyd to be like, what are you gonna do? Aquaman, swim around with your wiener hanging out the back? With your male modeling? Am I wrong in assuming that Zack Snyder is really obsessed with people being able to sonic boom their way in and out of places?
He absolutely
because Aquaman sonic booms the fuck out of like
what was
cameo.
It, drone?
Yeah, he fucking
but
like.
Then what was filming the drone? Something was filming the drone, filming Aquaman.
Yes. I gotta tell you, I don't know. They only show us the videos from cameosfolder.justiceleague.setup.movie one time.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. What else is
last bad thing is just, and it's not bad in its entirety. I just think there were opportunities where there were moments when the score really fucked up the movie for me.
Good Lord. Sweet baby Zeus.
And Hans, you know what you're doing, dude. Like, is it literally because of Zack and the way he didn't piece these fucking scenes together that you just tried to do whatever you could? Or
it does feel like he gave up.
Right.
It does feel like the movie beats Hans Zimmer at some point, and Hans Zimmer's just like, you win, Moody. You get to have whatever sounds you want whenever you want.
You just had a fucking soundboard just...
I'll hit the buttons. I'll do what you say, movie. I'll be good. Poor Hans Zimmer's just like fucking got like a black eye and they're like, Hans, what happened to you? Nothing, I fell down some stairs. Yeah, he said he fell down some stairs.
Just submissive.
If Zack is hurting you, Hans, you can tell us. I'm happy here. He said he's happy here. Play the fucking guitar riff, Hans.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Play the goddamn guitar riff. Play it again when she shows up again.
More tribal drums.
Play it every time she shows up.
Oh my God.
Add in a Xena. At least once or twice.
The emphasis on when Batman was somewhere you aren't supposed to think he is. On top of that crane. Just.
Oh my God. That is definitely. That is a perfect place to start my bad if those are all your bads.
That's it. That's on my bad, man.
All right. Bad number 1. Batman and his fucking 150 cal sniper super rifle to fire a tracking beacon. And like, dude, this tracking beacon is like...
tracking beacon, dude. That thing stuck around.
It's like the size of a hockey puck.
But it stayed.
It's like the size of a hockey puck, and it's like, flank, clank, and there's like dude standing right next to it. It like punctures plate steel on the side of this armored truck, and it's like, nobody heard that? And then it's like, and then after it's connected, it's like,
I know. Well, so
like, does nobody hear that?
To this point, I have to get this in quick. There are so many inaccuracies in this movie that even for a comic book movie does not allow me to fucking believe.
It's just like, I'm just sitting there like, nobody hears that? And it's just like, and then when they finally get to where they're going, I'm like, and nobody sees it? It's like this is a super well lit room. Nobody sees it.
Blinking red. It's black on a white truck.
The size of a hockey puck, making cricket sounds with red flashing lights. A room full of 30 people. No one sees it. Oh, and let me tell you, the truck gets ripped in to 1/8 of a truck that's left. So there are very few places you can actually look that are still truck that don't have a giant tracking marker going, I'm a tracking marker, I'm a tracking marker, I'm a tracking marker on it. Like, even by Batman standards, Batman be like, God, shit, I'm fucking sucking big time with this. Oh, God, that part was fucking so laughable.
Fell off.
That whole sequence actually fucking makes me so mad. The sequence with the Batmobile. Batmobile is a very cool looking vehicle in this movie. The chase sequence that it is involved in is terrible.
How many people, bro?
It is terrible.
How many?
All right.
Go
This
in.
is my
Go in.
this is my biggest bad of the whole movie. Batman straight up, by his own hand and his own volition, murders 20 plus people. There are 3 cars in the first sequence that have 4 people in them each.
Yep.
He grabs one and flies it and hucks it into the side of a building. I'm assuming they're dead. I was like, but they could still be alive. Maybe Batman's alive. He then grappling tethers it and drags that car top down for a quarter mile, and then tail spins it, hurling it into another car, smashing that car through the windshield, killing everyone in that car.
It did a flip.
Yeah, and then he jumps the Batmobile through a building, through the side of a truck, that truck that was originally fully a truck that has the tracking marker puck on it, and kills everyone but one dude. And I think I saw 6 guys in the back of that truck. They all got crushed by the Batmobile. Fucking turbo crushed. So crushed, it's insane. And then there's, later on when he saves Martha Kent, he straight up just grabs a gun and starts shooting people.
Fucking shots.
He just starts shooting people. And it's I'm like, man, Zack Snyder has no clue who Batman is. Sure, I even gave him the benefit of the doubt, the whole, God, Zod was gonna kill that family, and it was either Zod or that family, and Superman had to make the tough call, and he killed Zod, and it fucking hurt his feelings. This is Batman has his grappling hook and his gas and everything, and he's on a high because he just fucking kicked the shit out of Superman, which is the biggest good of this whole movie. The fight scene that ends between Batman and Superman is Superman begging Batman not to kill him. Begging him. And it's that's awesome! Everyone, all the fucking casuals, we're putting it to bed right now, everybody!
Yeah, but
Batman
in a
that fight.
resolution that is so fucking insulting to the viewers.
That part is bad, but the fucking him begging for his life was sweet. But one of my biggest bads in the whole movie, Batman kills a lot of people, and it's not out of necessity. He just does it. And I would even try and give them the fucking pass of he's an old Batman. If he was a fucking old Batman. Because he's not, man.
He's 42 at most.
So it's it's insane. Another bad. The way Doomsday looks when he's birthed out of his fucking
that giant turd.
His fucking
that hot pile of shit that came.
His Genesis placenta that he rolls out of, and he looks really dumb. I mean, he looks pretty dumb,
regardless,
I guess, for the most of the movie. But another bad that I have in the movie is the moment where they show the general, and the general's like, "My God, it just made it more angry and strong." I was like it's some kind of Incredible Hulk, right? Because that's basically they played it like it was the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
But that he can shoot lasers and shit and grow bones all the time. Yeah. So it's that was pretty bad.
How long had they been there evaluating this? How did we get to that point too? Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Oh, I got a late addition to the good list. Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White. Every scene he's in is good.
It is.
Just, you're flying coach, Economy Plus.
Coach,
Bitch, get out of my face! Just you fly coach. You shut the fuck up about it. I swear to God, if I find that you even ordered a
Economy
cocktail
plus.
on this company dime, I'll fucking fire your ginger ass so fast. Like, oh man, there's just so much. Like, also, what is up? This is also on my bad list. What is up with fucking Superman having like a, hey, I'm gonna wear my stuff that I wore when I was on the oil rig and see the ghost of my dad stacking rocks and like the fortress, like outside the Fortress of Solitude.
Peyote before he hit it up those mountains or something,
Fucking
man.
Superman's having a vision quest by himself on the fucking side of the mountain.
That's exactly what he did.
But like, I could drown
I miss you
on.
too,
Like,
Dad. You're
I get
talking to nobody, Soups.
I miss you, son. I miss you
It's
too, Dad.
two of them. Hey, at least Soups and Bats are 1-for-1 on the talking to nobodies.
It's true. Although I think like when Batman talks, he's like, "You will." I feel like Superman heard him.
He probably did.
I feel like Superman heard him still. Do you bleed? And Superman leaves. You will. I know you heard that, you fucking piece of shit. That would have been the best part. Cut the Superman flying away. It's like, you will. Yeah. I know you've heard me, you fucking alien piece of garbage. Just leave it just right there, and that would have been perfect. I will add this to the good list. When Batman's slinking around in Lex's place and both fucking Wonder Woman and Superman are just hearing him have his little whisper conversation to Alfred, and they're just like, what? They're all looking around and shit. Loved it.
I still love though that I can't discredit this universe because it is still the same universe in which nobody for anything can tell that a guy with glasses is the same guy without the glasses.
Except for Lex. Lex knew.
Oh, Lex is the only one.
I mean, and Lex even knew that fucking Bruce Wayne was Batman. Like, he knew right away. He knew who everyone was.
Yeah,
like,
and he got no setup to any of that.
I know. How cool would that have been?
Yeah.
That is definitely on my bad list. Where it's like, oh shit, Lex just knew who Batman was. I'm like, granted, yeah, he's super rich, and like Batman clearly has like a fucking amazing jet and a super badass car. Like, but you know, so he's got to be rich. But man, it would have been nice to see him puzzle that out.
So is the moral of the story that Lex Luthor is the real founder of the Justice League?
I feel like Lex is like the shitty Loki that brings them all together. You know, or he's the Coulson death that brings everyone together.
There you go.
But even Marvel pulled a DC there and fucking let Coulson live. Yeah. I will say this to the very end right now. I feel like Coulson should have died and stayed dead.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
This is my only Marvel talk of the night, and it's that Coulson should have stayed dead.
Shut your mouth.
Just understand it. He should have stayed dead.
Heresy.
So there. What's ugly about this movie, Reg?
Oh my God. Where do we start?
I mean, like bad and ugly are they kind of bleed over. You know, that's why it's good that we do them so close to each other. Because you can't do the ugly, the good, the bad. That just sounds dumb.
Yeah, I know. And more, I think, the ugly is I think a whole of a lot of the bad, because it has to do with the cohesiveness, the unresolved, the things that happen so fucking quickly. We just wonder what happened. I mean, the ugly, number one, and I think everybody probably even heard me in the theater yell out, "Come on, man!" when we get an immediate, "I'm a friend of your son's." When he was trying to choke the life out of him, put a kryptonite spear through his chest, maybe 15 minutes earlier, 10 minutes, or how quickly he's standing with a foot on his neck, and then he's gonna kill Martha, and then flashback. And I'm like, dog, you just stripped all the fucking emotion from this fight scene and put me in a field of fucking dead flowers back in the funeral place again. I mean, how many times did we visit the what are those called? A mosque? Or no, that's the Wayne thing.
Oh, the crypt?
Yeah, there you go, crypt.
I jumped so hard when that fucking bat flew out of his mom's grave. I was like, oh, fucking bat mom.
Yeah, but that was way before that shit. Just in the middle of that fight when he's foot on neck, and then all of a sudden, Artha, and whoop, flashback.
I thought you were trying to say part of the ugly was the Batmom part, and I was like, fuck, that's a...
No, Batmom's
that was the
cool.
most, like... That part was very much on the good list. Batmom, that's what's up. What about the Bat Gains? Is the Bat Gains part of the ugly? The workout montage of just...
No way, dude.
Affleck getting fucking ripped?
That was the entire... Without that, the momentum swing of smashing Superman through 4 pillars is null and void. Because then I'm pissed at that scene. And I'm wondering how in the world did you build up enough strength?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll buy it. I will.
But no, man.
Bat Gains are on the good list.
You know as much as I do. It's the cohesive. It's these scenes. The way that this movie feels like just a shit ton of scenes that were pieced together in so the wrong way.
This movie feels like the editor forgot what the movie was supposed to be, and I don't feel like it's the editor's fault. I feel like it's the script's fault, because the editor's kind of looking at it and is like, wait, so what happens next? Well, I mean, Lois Lane stands there at the grave, and then cut to Bruce talking to Wonder Woman, and then you cut to a cannon, and then we cut to his mom, and then we cut to Bruce, and then we cut to Alfred. Then we cut to Wonder Woman.
But what happened to Lois? Is she still...
Then we cut to then we cut to Superman's casket in Washington, D.C., and then we cut to Perry at the Daily. And then we cut back to Lois, still standing there. Hasn't dropped her handful of dirt yet. Cut back to Bruce, mid-conversation with Wonder Woman still. Cut back to Perry. Cut back to Clark's mom. And then cut back to Lois, who, in the concept of, time passage in the movie... has been standing at Superman's grave for an hour, stopping these poor workers from just trying to shovel the goddamn dirt on his grave.
Oh, they must be so pissed and irritated. Just
you know what? Probably though the guy's like, fuck it. I mean, it's overtime for me. This bitch stays here all day. I can do whatever I want. Lois Lane is on my ugly list, and not because I love Amy Adams. I think she's a fantastic actress and probably a really great person. She seems really sweet, but Lois Lane as a character is so fucking bunk. And when it was when Flash comes back and it's like, Lois is the key, I'm like, she better not be. Just that better not be what happens. We better not try and shoehorn Lois Lane into being more important than she is. Because if the whole reason Superman will ever go bad is because the lady he loves is the one that turns him bad because she dies, that's not really a Superman. That really, if he can't persevere through that is very un-Superman of him. Well, man. If I had to put a bullet point on what is ugly about this movie, it's the fact that everything in the movie feels like a very disjointed set of story threads.
Yeah.
There's no cohesive story point. That being said, all the characters seem to be doing things only to set up parts of the plot as per how the plot needs them to be set up. Not in an organic way where it's because everyone's well, of course, every character's action sets up the plot. It's yes, the characters do set up the plot of the story, but the characters are setting up the plot of the story because it feels like the characters are in on what the plot of the story is.
Yes, dude,
And that's problematic because it feels really bad when it's I need to go and try and get the kryptonite spear out of there because I threw it into the well a second ago and I gotta get it now because no one told me that I need to go get it, but somehow I just intuitively know that it is the MacGuffin that we need to finish this fucking part of the story because Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman talked about it, and then fucking Batman tries to go get it. Actually, Batman doesn't even fucking talk to them. He talks to Alfred about it, and he goes back to go get it, and then fucking Superman comes down after he's all fucking radiationed out, which that part was tight.
Didn't even try, bro.
But then he's like, hey, you get the spear? And he's like, I've been busy. And it's like, what the fuck you mean you get the spear? Fuck you, dude. How do you even know? How do you even know what Batman's plan is? You were in space being fucking Radiation Man for a second.
Superman.
And then Lois is like, I'll get it because I'm fucking miles away. Because they're fighting, they were fighting on that island in between Gotham and Metropolis, which that's insanity. That Gotham and Metropolis are
close
across the water from each other.
Yeah, that was a little bit fucked up for me.
It's crazy.
It's whoa, I didn't.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't know much about the DC universe, but I'm pretty damn sure these cities aren't that close to each other.
Well, it's weird because Metropolis is New York and Gotham has always been considered Chicago.
Right? Yeah.
And so it's Yep, that's like half a country apart.
So the DC universe is really fucking small. Like,
well, apparently, or Lake Michigan covers all the rest of the states.
You just ding ding ding.
So like, so that's a thing, I guess.
To circle back around and what you were talking about with the story, I just wanted to get this in. Robbie Collin from The Telegraph, I think he nailed it perfectly in one quote, and it just said, "No major blockbuster in years has been this incoherently structured, this seemingly uninterested in telling a story with clarity and purpose."
Yeah, I guess I would probably say that is the correct way of saying all of those things. Yeah, he's absolutely right. That, and also at the top of the ugly list, despite our small pieces thinking they're cool, you don't shoehorn in cameos. This is what we were told when the movie first started getting made. And they're like, oh yeah, Cyborg's in it, and so's the Flash, and so's Aquaman, and so's Wonder Woman. It's like, fuck, what are they in the movie for? Like, hey, I'm this guy, and then they leave. They're like, no, it's not like that.
And
it fucking is like that.
It's absolutely.
It is that exactly, with the exception of Wonder Woman. Because it's just like, oh yeah, this is dead Silas over here, and we got a computer, and the computer is alive, and he's like dead but alive and dying, and they merge together and form a type of cyborg. Then also all of the like folders are iconed with like the red folder. The red folder has a lightning bolt on it because that's the Flash. A blue folder has the Atlantis symbol on it because that's the Aquaman. The Cyborg folder has a C
the logo
on it.
of Colorado on it.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman's has the Wonder Woman logo on it. Like Lex has got their like suits all made up for him, ready to go apparently before any of that stuff even happens. So like this super shoehorned in. Like imagine, if you will, remember in Thor when we got that Hawkeye cameo and we thought it was neat because they didn't try very hard to shoehorn in a major character in there? Imagine that Hawkeye cameo done more poorly, shorter, and for three of the biggest characters in DC's universe. Like imagine if you got to see Captain America in Iron Man, but he shows up for a second to be like, hey, great job, Tony, I'm Steve Rogers. That's what the Flash gets. And it's not even like good Grant Gustin Flash, which a lot of people, I'm assuming, who are going to go see Batman vs. Superman are fans of the Flash TV show. We get some fucking new dude who, Ezra Miller is just fine. He's a fine actor, but he looks just like fucking Kylo Ren in this fucking thing.
Yep.
And it looks like Kylo Ren is going to join the Justice League, which, you know what? You can't trust Kylo Ren on any team. We know what he does. He killed the last team that he was on. He killed all the Jedis. That was the team that he was playing for, and he fucking made his uncle grow a beard and hide on a mountain.
There's no I in team.
You know, there's no fucking... There's
no Kylo in team.
There is an I in Jedi murder.
Damn it.
There's an I in the First Order. I think, yeah, First Order. But is the I in First Order then, would that be Supreme Chancellor Snoke, or would that be Kylo Ren? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out in episode 8. But
here's another good one because I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, go no. This is actually important.
I'm running through the the terrible things because prior to when we got out of the movie, I originally said I was just gonna shut up because I didn't really have anything good to say and just find all the terrible things said about this movie and find my favorites, so on and so forth. Anyways, couldn't find much, but somebody had 10 vicious quotes, but this one though, because that's all I could think about. I couldn't stop, or I had to stop my brain from thinking about other things while watching that movie. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of had to chime in and go, Suicide Squad, just wait, like Suicide Squad, or what groceries do I need to pick up tomorrow morning, or did I pay the cell phone bill this morning, or whatever the fuck it is. Anyways,
right.
This is from Jen Yamato of the Daily Beast points out that Batman vs. Superman drowns so much in the juvenile angst of its heroes that the thought of getting away from them in the next 2 DC films is a welcome relief.
Dang.
Yeah. And again, spot on. because I'll be goddamned if I am not still just from seeing that trailer prior to the movie. Again, Suicide Squad. Please redeem the DC Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, it's. I wrote when we were riding in the car back. Mark's like, "What are you texting somebody?" I was like, "Oh, I'm writing an email to my buddy who really liked the movie." And I was like, "Dude, I feel like Suicide Squad will be the actual movie that kicks off the DC universe, because I feel like this movie failed audiences massively." And at the end of all this, we did the good, the bad, and the ugly, and made fun of it and stuff like that. But I will say this: the movie is mediocre. It is not bad. It is not good. It simply exists, is where it lands on my scale. So, like, that might be worse for a lot of people because it doesn't emotionally move me in either direction. Like, I'm not mad at it, and I'm not applauding it. But I have no interest in seeing this movie again.
It's
I saw it once. I'm glad I saw it.
I'd pull up the 15 minutes of fight, like of the cool shit.
It's on YouTube. It's like watch the fight sequence and then I'll move on, or like a Batman super cut of like all the Batman, and then it'd be done with it. So like that's really where it comes down to it. It's
man,
like
to think back. There's nothing even outside of that 5 minutes I would even want to own that were particularly standout.
So take it for what it's worth. I really would like to hear if you love this movie and you're like, you guys just fucking missed the point.
Yes.
Or if you're thinking that we're just like the other critics where it's like you guys are just treating it too hard. You just got to sit back and have fun. I want to hear you tell me why that's the case, because it totally isn't. But
we tried to though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did I say to you when we were at the concession stand? I was like, you ready for this? I'm like, dude, my expectations are so low, incredibly low that, like, I don't think, I think I'm going to walk out of here liking this movie. And I still walked out with a, all right. Sure, whatever. Yeah. That's fine. But, like, this is definitely one of those ones where I would really like to hear what everyone's take is on it.
Yeah,
and
no, I do want opinions.
Now that we started making the transition, which this is as good a place to talk about it as any, because this is the thing that started everything, we are now going to be moving forward. We are no longer going to be posting our podcast episodes on YouTube on Evil Ice Cream Pictures, which is my own personal video site. We've decided that we're going to harness all of our creative energies of the show and start our own YouTube channel, which is the Best Flarking Network, which will be our podcast. It'll be a new cartoon that's gonna grow out of the original cartoon I did with the O. Scott called X-Meh.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna be doing individual reviews for like a quick review, like a little 10-minute microcast where Reed will review something or I'll review something or we'll do something like that. All that stuff's gonna live on our new centralized home on the YouTube, which will be the Best Flarking Network. We're not able to secure our own YouTube link yet because we don't have a ton of subscribers. We actually have to hit over the 100 mark. So if you want to do us a huge solid, the link will be obviously on our Facebook page, which is now also changed because I appealed to the fine people at the Facebook and asked them if we could change our name and our tagline, and they let us. So our fan page is no longer the Best Flarking Podcast either. It's now the Best Flarking Network. And it is now just facebook.com/MotherFlarker, which is the same as we're Mother Flarker across the board now. And you can find us all over the place with all of that business. And, we'll be there to do all the podcast things and a whole bunch of new extra content stuff because 2016 is the year of the Flarker. So we're going to flark and do it big for all you guys.
Flarking right.
So we will be casting again really soon, because we have to talk about Daredevil, which I think will be a very fun conversation for us to have.
I kind of want to finish my second run through. I'm in the middle of it.
Ooh.
I mean, there's just... And have you started a second run through yet?
I have started, but I have not gotten a lot of headway into it.
Okay,
I've been busy with a lot of work stuff, but
so many things that I'm picking up on that I didn't catch the first watch through. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty great season. But, to kind of tie into the whole Best Flarking Network thing, once we get everything, all the wheels in motion, we'll be doing this podcast, obviously we'll be going live, and then the Daredevil one will be going live really soon, shortly thereafter. After that Daredevil episode comes out, we're going to be switching the podcast from a weekly to a bi-weekly. And so it's going to be that the podcast will happen every other week. And then the week that we're not podcasting will be the week where you'll get, like a 10-minute video game review from me, or a 10-minute movie review from Reg, or a cartoon or something like that, or a character profile, or any of those kind of things that we do. So that way, you'll still be getting an influx of content, but we're going to space out the podcast just a little bit.
Yep.
So
that basically you guys can count on us always being able to provide you guys with awesome shit.
Yeah. Instead of having a couple weeks where it's like the news is super slim and we can't really give you exactly what you guys have wanted, because the listening counts on the episodes that are packed with information are super high, and the ones where the news cycle is pretty weak are a little low. So we're trying to do what is best for you guys and space it out a little bit. So that's just a little transparency from the management, because that's how we run it here. So again, thank you so much for listening. Go see Batman vs. Superman. Talk to us on Twitter at MotherFlarker. Comment on our YouTube page. Comment on the Facebook page. Tell us what you thought about Batman vs. Superman. Get that shit done. We thought it was meh. To the meh.
Super meh.
To the meh X.
Batmeh versus Supermeh.
It's just like Murder Bat versus Super Murder Man.
I don't know if
in the gladiator fight of the century.
Pretty much. I mean, how if you were to put it on a scale of the amount of flarks you give, like how many flarks do you give about this movie?
3?
3 flarks on a scale of how many flarks? Is that 10 or 5?
A 5? Like 5. There are 5 total flarks that one can give.
Okay.
And I'll give 3 flarks about it. So like it technically passes, but like I look at it and I go, man, you should work really hard this summer, Batman versus Superman.
But you don't care, yeah. You want to care. It's an implication of caring. You want
and it's
to.
like I know you could do better, Batman versus Superman. So, shape up and fly right and stop taking advantage of my kind nature as an educator.
Yeah.
That analogy about summer school went really far. Well, how many flarks do you give?
I give a single flark about this movie.
Wow, that's super low. It failed big time. Like it didn't even show up to class ever, and you're like, you failed on attendance alone.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. As always, you guys have been fantastic, and we have been
the best Flarking Podcast.